Good morning, everyone.
I am John Vincent Garcia, the leader of this group, and you will know my members as they introduce themselves.
I am Kyle Nicole B. Minyan.
I am Eduardo M. Mama Jr.
I am Daniela Dilas Gite.
I am Jeline Gabrilio.
I am Mary Rose Mikin.
I am Revelyn Javier.
I am Bernadette Historillo.
We are
And
group
we are the group
representing
presenting
values
values development.
To start with, let us first define these following terms in order for us to have a background about the topic that we will be tackling today. First off, we have the term values. So, what is values? It says here that values is derived from the Latin word valere, which means to be worth or to be strong. So dito, sinasabi na ang values daw ay tumutukoy sa halaga ng isang tao or kung gaano kalakas ang isang tao. So for example, bumili ka, you bought a new laptop worth 50,000. Now, the value of the laptop that we are talking about here is 50,000. Dinedetermine niya kung ano yung halaga ng isang bagay or halaga ng isang tao. Minsan, we have this saying na you are worthy of love, just like that. Kasi nga, ikaw ay mahalaga. Kasi nga, may value ka. Next, values are the basis of judging what attitudes and behaviors are correct and desirable and what are not. Ang values naman dito ay ang ating nagiging basihan kapag tayo ay nagja-judge. Kunwari, for example, may nakita kang isang bata, inaway niya yung kalaro niya, that means that is not correct. That is not desirable. That is not a desirable value. Next one is the third definition of values. According to Cornelius van der Pol, values refer to the understanding of a certain good for an individual or society which is considered worthy of realization. Ibig sabihin nito, values is yung pag-intindi natin sa kung anong mas makabubuti para sa isang tao or para sa buong society. It is something good or worthy. Ito yung karapat-dapat nating i-realize, intindihin. So, kapag, for example, we are making decisions that will affect many, that's why we need to really weigh the value of our decisions and make sure na mas makakabuti iyon para sa mga nakararami. The fourth one and the last one is, according to Clyde Clockhorn, a value is a conception, explicit or implicit, distinctive of an individual or characteristic of a group, of the desirable, which influences the selection from available modes, means, and ends of an action. Values naman, according to Clyde Clockhorn, is something na desirable or useful by a person or a group. Something na magagamit ng isang tao at makabubuti siya. Ang keyword natin dito is the word desirable. Ito kasi yung nagsasabi na ang values are not simply just values. It is not just simply desires. It is desires that people consider justified. Dahil naiimpluwensyahan nito yung mga actions natin or kung paano tayo makisalamuha sa mga tao sa society na kinalalagyan natin. The second term that we have here is the word development. Ano nga ba ang tinatawag nating development? Well, the first definition says that development is the process of developing or being developed. Ito yung proseso ng ating pag-mature o ating paglaki. For example, simula nung mga bata tayo, unti-unti tayo na-develop or unti-unti tayo na-shape into a fine woman and into a fine man that we are today. That is either through experiences or through actions or mga steps na ginagawa natin para tayo ay mag-mature. That is what we call development. It is a process. Ito yung progress. Ito yung mga steps para tayo ay mag-mature. Next one, the second. Development is a process that creates growth, progress, positive change, or the addition of physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic components. Ito naman, para siyang yung nauna, pero mas detailed version. Kasi nga, may mga ibang aspects nang included. Like yung sa physical, social, environmental, mas malawak na ngayon yung sakop niya. Kasi, it talks about how you look, how your body is built, and how you think, and how you socialize to people around your society. Next, development is both physical reality and a state of mind. Ang objectives naman ng development dito is to improve the things that surrounds us. Ito yung mga bagay na nahahawakan natin or nakokontrol natin. That is what we call physical reality. Sa state of mind naman, it talks about how we think, how our mindset is, tumutukoy kung paano natin i-view yung mga things and happenings that surrounds us, kung paano natin siya i-handle, and it talks about then the way we act around people. So basically, it is a combination of mental and social changes that leads to development. Next definition, in general, development means to have better and more humane life. We humans are supposed to change and improve day by day. And so, development plays an important role in attaining a better or more humane life. Ito kasi yung nagli-lead sa atin, ito kasi yung nagpupush to do better things and to have a good behavior in acting towards people. Ito yung nagmo-motivate sa atin para mas maging makatarungan at mas maging makatao na individual na included sa isang society. The last definition we have here for development is according to Pearson in 1992, development involves an improvement, qualitative, quantitative, or both in the use of available resources. Ito yung mga improvement or progress na nagagawa natin using our available resources. Dito rin nasusubok yung patience and determination natin sa pagiging mas better individual sa society. Kasi nga, minsan kakaunti lamang yung mga gamit natin and we really need to think thoroughly how to use it efficiently and effectively. He also asserts that development does not refer to one particular perspective on social, political, and economic betterment. Sabi niya, hindi lang nagfo-focus yung development sa mas ikabubuti ng social, political, and economic. Mas marami pa siyang sakop na ibang aspects sa society. And it makes sense kasi we as humans, in any situation that we are in, we really need to look at the bigger picture, at the bigger image of things para tayo ay mag-grow. Kasi kung magfo-focus lang tayo sa iisang aspect or sa iisang bagay, hindi tayo mag-grow. Kung talagang gusto nating mag-grow, we really need to look at all pictures involved sa mga possible na mga factors na makakatulong sa atin. Now we have the third and the last term, which is values development. What do we mean by values development? The first definition says that it is the act, process, or result of developing values for human dignity. Ito yung proseso na ginagawa natin on how we can develop our values for us to be a better member of the society. Ito yung mga ginagawa natin, yung mga bagay that we are doing to strengthen our dignity. Para mas maging makatao at maging patas tayong mamamayan. Para i-guide tayo sa kung paano natin itrato yung mga tao with respect and honesty. Last definition, values development, acquiring a set of beliefs and values relating to what is wrong and what is right, which guides intentions, attitudes, and behavior towards oneself, other people, one's own society and others, and the environment, and developing the disposition to act in accordance with such beliefs and values. Dito naman pumapasok yung mga paniniwala at mga asal na meron tayo to help us identify what is right and what is wrong. It serves as a light, guiding us on how to act appropriately in the society. It enlightens us about our attitudes and behaviors at tinutulungan niya tayong mas maging maingat sa mga actions natin towards others. It helps us develop our dignity and ability to act nang naaayon sa mga paniniwala at asal na mayroon tayo. And there you have it, the definitions that will help you understand the further topics that we have for today.
So let us proceed to values education. So first, what is values education? Values education is the process of giving young people an initiation into values, a process by which values are formed in the learner under the guidance of the teachers and parents as he or she interacts with his or her environment. We, young people. This values education is the process of helping us to develop our values and on how we use it properly to interact and respond to other people and to our environment. Pero na-mention din dito na these values are formed in the learner under the guidance of the teachers and parents. So the teachers and parents are the responsible to teach us on how we use our values to respond with other people and environment. So, yung mga tinuturo nila and yung mga ina-act nila na mga values and characters ay na-adapt natin. And pwede mo din ma-build sa sarili mo yung mga values na hindi na kailangan pang ituro ng mga teachers and parents. Values education is really important para sa ating mga tao. Let us now discuss the importance of values education. The importance of values education. Firstly, this makes it clear to them the best way to live a life that can be helpful to individuals as well as people around. So, by this values education, nagiging malinaw sa atin kung paano mamuhay para makatulong sa isa't isa at sa mga tao na nakapaligid sa atin. Secondly, it gives the students a progressive way to their future and also helps them to know the real purpose of their lives. So, sa values education, nakakatulong ito na maging progressive mga students para sa future nila and para malaman nila kung ano yung purpose nila dito sa mundo. The next one, values education helps students to become more responsive and practical. So, ayan na yun kanina. It helps us to become more responsive and practical when it comes to our circumstances. Next, it also helps us developing a strong relationship with family and friends. Of course, values education is helping us to develop a strong relationship with our family and friends kapag maganda yung behavior mo, magiging strong talaga yung foundation or relationship ng family and friends mo. And lastly, it can change the personality and character of students. Kasi natututunan nila kung anong dapat at hindi dapat. Nade-develop yung mga characters and behavior nila. And it's really helps the students become a better person and become a better version of themselves. Yun lang, thank you.
There are types of values development. One is personal values. Personal values are those we learn for ourselves and which constitute a critical part of our values and are apparent in attitudes, beliefs, and actions. The examples are honesty, responsibility, and loyalty. Everyone has personal values, but each person has different values of set. The other type of values development is social values. Social values are those which put the right of wider groups of people first. These are often instilled into people since they are young. The examples are equality, liberty, freedom, and national pride. These values are implicit guidelines that provide orientation to individuals and corporations to conduct themselves properly within a social system.
Political values. It was stated here that political values are ideological beliefs about the best way to govern a country or organization either through welfare, democracy, or civic responsibility. In other definition, it is a set of beliefs, principled by an individual or group which guides their general behavior, attitudes towards political objects like leaders and events or ideologies. They are the mental construct and not tied on any object. Since political values have a evaluative element in it, therefore they help individual to arrive in a certain decision. So on political values, there is a three constitute or aspect of it. First is the cognitive. It is about a thinking, reasoning, judging, and problem solving on how a politician or person decide and choose a solution. As a politician, in political values, you should be fair in any decision that you made, and then it is not only about your image, it is also the people of the country. So you should be careful in decision making or making a solution. Then second is affectionate. It shows here that you are happy to serve. Gusto mo yung ginagawa mo. Gusto mong mag-serve sa people. Yung mga ganun. And then, behavioral. It affects yourself and the country also. It is how you deal with the people. Kumbaga, ano yung behavior mo towards other people. And then, if you decided to make a move, paano mo ba yun isinasagawa? Kumbaga ganun. And then, the political values are determined by a process of socialization, which may be defined as a long process of shaping individual social tendency. Some of the actors involved in socialization are the family, educational institute, religion, peer or group, media, and workplace. For example naman ng political values is when a person born in a democracy country and nurtured by a democratic parenting style is more likely to adopt a democratic values in political arena. Yun lang po. Economic values. Economic values are those that are centered around money and may include beliefs around ownership of property contributory to the common good. So, pag sinabi natin economic values, na-adapt natin siya in our surroundings. Kasi, pag sinabing ekonomiya, it is a process of, it is about the money na pumapasok at lumalabas sa bansa. Pag ekonomiya or economic, nakapaloob dito yung scarcity, which means kakulangan. In our country, nagkakaroon tayo ng scarcity or kakulangan sa mga resources. Which means, pumapasok dito yung centered around the money. Kumbaga, you need to use your money wisely. Kailangan, alam mo yung paggagamitan mo ng money, hindi lang about sa wants mo, alam mo yung wants mo, alam mo yung needs mo. You should focus on your needs kasi limited resources lang ang meron tayo. And then, the ownership of property. You should know kung ano yung sayo at hindi sayo. So that, there's no, kumbaga, walang mangyayaring agawan, kundi magkakaroon ng peace or common good sa lahat.
Dito sa part na to is we are going to tackle about the factors that affect our values formation. Kasi as we all know, sa pag-form ng mga values, sa pag-adapt, ganon, meron pa rin tayong mga factors na dapat i-consider. And one of these factors is what we call influences. These depend on a person's internal influences such as intellectual and emotional capabilities. Influences can be from family, culture, society, environment, religious belief, and ethnicity. Bale, alam naman natin kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng influence. Ito yung nagsisilbing basis natin para magbago. And dito sa topic natin is sinabing ang influence ay nakakaapekto sa pag-form ng mga values, which is tama naman. Kasi, for example, in one environment, napansin mo na halos lahat ng tao ay masiyahin. Halos lahat ay palakaibigan. Bali may isip mo na dapat ikaw din, di ba? So, ang mangyayari niyan, syempre makikihalubilo ka na rin, makikipag-usap ka na sa ibang tao, and masasabi natin dahil sa pinakita nila, na-impluensyahan ka. Na-impluensyahan ka sa mabuting paraan. Na-change na yung nakasanayan mo. Na-adapt mo yung pag-uugali nila. Another is, for example, mahilig kang mag-procrastinate. Mahilig kang mag-rush ng mga activities, ganon. And then, may nakilala ka na opposite mo. Sabihin natin siya, agad-agaran niyang ginagawa mga activities niya para matapos na. Para wala na siyang gagawin, ganon. So, may isip mo, why not i-adapt yung ganong pag-uugali, di ba? Kasi it's for your own good din naman. And kapag na-adapt mo na, masasabihin na natin na impluensyahan ka niya. Siyempre, in a good way din. Another factor is our experiences. Like good influences, good experiences are also needed in values formation. Daily life happenings also help us shape and develop our values as an individual. We can agree here naman kasi our experiences really affect our values formation. Kasi for example, once you have experienced failure, syempre ayaw naman nating laging ganon, di ba? Gusto natin success. So, ang gagawin mo niyan, aalamin mo kung paano hindi mabigo ulit. Another, once you have experienced pain, syempre maaapektuhan ka, masakit, dadaan mo sa pag-iyak, ganon. And then, may isip mo, dapat hindi ganon. Dapat magpakatatag ka. Learn how to live with it. And also, there's a saying na, experience is the best teacher. Kasi those experiences will help us learn from our mistakes. Those experiences will make us become wiser. And also, those experiences will help us become more mature.
What is the value system? A value system is hierarchy of values that all moral beings have reflected in their choices. Most people's value system differ. It is an individualistic concept. One's value system is molded by one's virtues or vices and experiment. The other word, value system, ito ay lahat tayo ay may kanya-kanyang katangian o kaugalian na sumasalamin sa ating buhay at ito'y nagagaya ni numan. Value system ay ang sistema ng itinatag na halaga, pamantayan o layunin na umiiral sa isang lipunan. The word value, ito ay nagsisilbing gabay sa pag-uugali ng tao. Sa pangkalahatan, ang mga tao ay may predispose na gamitin ang mga halaga kung saan sila pinalaki. Ang mga tao ay may posibilidad na maniwala na ang mga halagang yon ay tama because they are the values of their particular culture. And that's all the value system.
So now, let us proceed to the Filipino value system. The first one is the filial piety. It is basically the nobility of respect for one's parent, elderly, ancestors, and for those who are older than us. In Confucianism, respect is an important virtue. It is the primary respect, care, and obedience for elderlies. So why is there a need for us to practice respect? Respect is very important for us to practice because it helps us build stronger relationships towards others. Respect leads us to a healthy relationship with other people because there is genuine love, care, and trust towards one another. Respect has been part of our culture as a Filipino citizen. Ever since we are child, we are already taught to give respect to elderly, particularly to our parents, grandparents, and other relatives. They taught us to use po and opo to show respect to those who are older than us. There are also other ways that we Filipinos do to show respect in our daily lives, just like pagmamano. Mano or pagmamano is an honoring gesture used in a Filipino culture, performed as a sign of respect. The second one is pakikisama, or being with others. The ability to get along in a group of people. This trait leads people to be cooperative and perform good deeds to others. An important part of Philippine culture is pakikisama or pakikipagkapwa-tao, which in general means togetherness, camaraderie, or what sociologists call the need for people in Philippines to maintain smooth interpersonal relations. The prevalence of pakikisama is one of the reasons that the Philippines is seen as such a friendly country. We all know that we are known to be hospitable people, particularly when there are foreigners that coming in our country. We always make sure that they would feel at home and they will enjoy their stay here in the Philippines. The third one is the utang na loob, or debt of goodwill. It is the willingness and even eagerness to acknowledge such internal debt of benevolence and then to return in kind by providing a similar favor through token gift and services. Best example for this is our debt of goodwill to our parents. We do everything that we do with all our hard works and perseverance because we want someday that we could pay back for all the sacrifices and hardships that our parents have been through just for us to attain this education. They give us the support we need from them, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. They do everything for us. They want best for us. They do everything that they can because they want the best for us. Therefore, at the end of the day, we aim to give them a good and better life in the future. Again, filial piety, pakikisama or being with others, utang na loob or death of goodwill. And these are just three of the many more Filipino value system that we have here in the Philippines.
What is value of being and giving? Well, values are concerned with being and giving because our genuine inner identity are made up of who we are and what we contribute rather than what we have. An example of being, honesty, courage, self-discipline. Yun yung mga identities or value of being that made us who we are as a person. Self-reliance, potential, moderation, fidelity, and chastity. Values of giving. Example naman sa values of giving ay yung mga contribute o nasishare mo o sinishare ng iba sa'yo. Respect. Yun yung binibigay mo generously with no expectation. Wala kang hinihinging kapalit. Loyalty. Kapag ito yung binibigay mo o nakukuha mo kapag nafe-feel mo na yung taong yun ay pinapahalagan ka. And syempre, hindi mawawala yung love, unselfishness, sensitivity, kindness, and friendship, justice, and mercy. Yun yung mga value na binibigay mo o sinishare ng iba sa'yo. And that is the values of being and giving.